Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.
Yeah, once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. For those of you that's in the building, salute. Hey, I ain't went nowhere. I know it's a pause in between breaks, but that's the way it got to be when you're handling business. But I want to give a salute and shout out to the WCS supporters and also USMC in the building. All my U.S. Marines, you know what it is, 20 in the green, boots on the ground. You know how we get down. Got to give a shout out to my vets, show them appreciation from here on out. You know what I'm saying? Been talking to a lot of y'all behind the scenes. Appreciate your support and everything. And it's good y'all pretty much understand now. You know what I'm saying? So it won't be no misunderstanding. But hey, we have a lot of topics to talk about. You know, nothing too specific because we're talking about the boxing variant. You know what I'm saying? Boxing to me, it's become contagious for the wrong reason. It has nothing to do with the fighters across the board per se, but just, you know, some that's competing in the sport. But I want to give a big salute, a grand salute to the BronzeBomber Nation. Those of you that's following Deontay Wilder as he continued to prepare for his bout to return back to the ring in October. Now, I'm going to tell you, to be honest with you, there's a lot of things that can go down before then. It's a lot of situations. It's a lot of scenarios you can come up with. Not from the action of Deontay Wilder, but from that coward Tyson Fury. Why are we sitting out here waiting and being played around with like we don't deserve better from one of the best heavyweight trilogies in the history of the sport? I don't know. It's beyond me, because I would think during this time, you know, February, 2020, all the way to now, I would think that the masses would have been on Deontay Wilder's side by now. You know, y'all should pretty much understand where I'm coming from. You should know who was in there training and grinding it out, sweating and making sure he was in shape for this fight that's coming up in October. He should have no culpability, a backlash, vitriol from anyone, because he's continuing to show y'all that he's ready to fight. He's ready to fight. He's been ready. He's training. He stay ready so he don't have to get ready. BronzeBomber Nation all day, because you know what? I know a real one. For a while, he's that dude. And for everyone who's sitting up here giving Tyson Fury waivers, exemptions, therapeutic waivers for stupidity, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that bullshit, man. Because y'all know, y'all teaching y'all kids to do better. Y'all teaching y'all kids not to be like Tyson Fury. But some of y'all motherfuckers on here And y'all acting like you don't have a clue, like y'all truly supporting the scoundrel for the entire situation, the one who disgraced the sport, when you should be supporting the Bronze Bomber, the WBC World Heavyweight Champion, as he go in there and continue to train to get his title back. Real talk. That's what it's all about. Nothing more. That's what it's all about, period. And it's always going to be like that. Because if y'all too stupid to know what Tyson Fury is about and what he represents and how selfish he is, well, guess what? You know what it is. Hold on for a second, people. My fault. Hey, Andrew Charles in the building, man. Salute to you. I know it's been a minute, but let me say what's up to the real ones, man. Andrew Charles in the building. What's good? King Mitch, salute, man. What's good with you? Trick boxing, World Combat Sports. What's good, fam? What's good with you, trick boxing? Mac of the South, salute, fam. World Combat Sports. What's up? What's good? Appreciate you pulling up. All of you that's in here, especially the ones that's been rocking with me from way back. You know who you are. It's Sean Thompson. What's good? Good afternoon, WCS. John Fury back at it again. Yesterday talking about this will be the end of Deontay career and shit, blah, blah, blah. So appreciate you bringing it up, because that's very important to note that his family's been talking reckless. And let's mention and highlight how reckless it is, because it deals with causing harm to a man that has a family, just like he does. John Fury has a family. But I guarantee you, if Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder was to be talking that talk that John Fury is, you know, because we can always reflect back when Deontay Wilder was on the Breakfast Club and said, the Bronze Bomber want to catch a body, right? So what is this about? What is John Fury talking about? They gave Wilder so much backlash for saying that shit on the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about an alter ego. But John Fury's sitting up here talking about the man himself, Deontay Wilder. You know, he cannot stop talking about death. And 1 minute he's talking about his son should retire. The next minute he's talking about he's gonna knock him out in this amount of rounds. And you know, he need to know when to say no. He need to know when not to engage. He need to know his place. You know what I'm saying? He just saying all that bullshit that when you look at the totality of it, Deontay Wilder would have been extremely ridiculed for this shit. But y'all let them UK motherfuckers get away with a lot of shit, bro. Y'all give them a therapeutic goddamn exemption on stupidity. Real talk. Y'all giving therapeutic exemption. Not all y'all, okay? But I'm saying a lot of y'all give these cats a therapeutic exemption, just like in boxing. Sean say, you know, they juicing up on something over there. If he talking like that, well, you know, when it comes down to talking boxing, trash talk is all the time. But this topic right here, Wild and Fury, you know, we have a wedge that has been placed in between the boxing variant when it comes to the audience. You would think the grown adults, we're talking about age appropriate audience, is watching boxing is intelligent enough to understand when people are doing right or wrong, right? We know right from wrong. But in this case, it seems like everybody is basically suffering from the boxing variant. You know what I'm saying? They are delusional about a lot of shit. They're giving the passes to a lot of shit that they should be holding accountable. And we're finding out that boxing within this racist cloud is precipitating on people and brainwashing them. It seems like these individuals up here just letting shit pass by that's fucked up. They just letting Fury and his pops and his people get away with just saying anything. But we know damn well if it was a black fighter, he wouldn't be getting away with that. He wouldn't be getting away with that talk. If Wilder said Fury's going to die in the ring or whatever, anything remotely close to that, people would be sitting up here making those anonymous snitch calls. You know what I'm saying? Those Crime Stoppers. I just want to report that Wilder, that BronzeBomber, he's making threats again, just like the Breakfast Club. We need to do something about it. What can we do? Mauricio, we need you, Mauricio. Just like you implemented the franchise belt. Come on, man. Implement the franchise belt. If you can't, you know, just implement an interim franchise belt. Anything to keep this guy from fighting for undisputed. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of evenings that I thought, and I told you all that Mauricio Suleiman, if he wants to turn boxing on his head, implement a franchise title for Tyson Fury in the heavyweight division, because that shit will destruct. That shit would be an atom bomb when it came to the sport of boxing. That right there would have drove these already, you know, complacent audience, these complacent fans out. They would have said, fuck it, man, I'm done with boxing for right now. Because it's too much going on where one minute I think shit is tight. It's a clear path to where I'm trying to go in my direction. And then they put all these detours up there. And for a detour doesn't mean you're not going to your destination. A detour means you just have to take a different route. But in boxing, they're putting up detours and you never even get to the destination. It's incredible, man. Like they put a detour up there. They say, okay, so-and-so is supposed to fight this person, but now he's fighting this person. Okay, he'll get to that person. Okay, he beat that. Okay, now nope. He's not fighting the one we want him to fight. Something else pops up. It's like a motherfucking high school dance, man. It's like the prom. Shit, this boxing shit it's like the prom, man. They just get so disappointed. You take your girl to the prom, you know you're young. You know what I'm saying? You might get some kisses here and there, but you ain't going all the way. I mean, unless you in the South. But this boxing shit just so disappointing. Like, it really is deceptive and disingenuous. Because all we hear is fantasy fights, potential fights. We have names thrown around in the media to link up to a live stream for a topic of discussion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you hear, oh, so-and-so's in talks. Stop the madness, man. Nobody's in talks. You're always saying somebody's in talks. Caleb Plant, Canelo Alvarez in talks. What happened with those? What happened with it? And Canelo Alvarez, I'm just disappointed. If you thought for one reason I mean, for 1 point, if you thought for 1 minute that I didn't feel some type of way when I heard that if you have to get a replacement opponent, you still get paid 40 mil. So you can pull back in Abner Yildirim again. Any opponent, you still get paid 40 mil. God damn, you're a prima donna. Canelo Alvarez is a prima donna, man. He's wearing that tiara real nice right now. I know, you know, he done made his money. But right now, man, he's doing some prima donna type shit. I don't appreciate it. We was looking for undisputed at 168, and we disappointed again. 47, disappointed forever and a day. 54, we goddamn disappointed once again. Heavyweight division, we disappointed once again. But they let the junior welterweight go ahead and unify because nobody cares. Nobody cares about what Josh Taylor did. Stormy B in the building. What's good, Stormy B, man? If y'all haven't already did so, man, check him out. Educational boxing media at its best, man. Go check out Stormy B, man. Trick Boxing say, none of it black fighter could have been through it in the mud up and down about it. Salute at World Combat Sports, and salute to you, Stormy B, man. Keep on cooking and putting out their educational content, man. I'm tuned in. For everybody in the chat, man, support Stormy B, man. And you know, you probably already subbed to his channel, but once again, those of you that's tuned in through the window, go check out his channel, man, and support him. You're boxing right now on some bullshit. Hey, man, look, Trick. All I'm trying to say is, I've inhaled a lot when it comes to certain topics. When I'm reading these topics, I'm getting all hype. You know, like the Devin Haney topics, the Jojo Diaz. And I know Jojo Diaz just got the 135. But I like his mentality. You know, Mr. Gary Russell Jr. fight, even though he lost. I like how he came up his fight with, you know, Tevin Farmer. I like how he fought through that big ass cut on his left eye and said, F it, I'm fighting. But then something happened where behind the scenes, I didn't know until it came out that they was screwing him around behind the scenes or whatever. So now he's pretty much free to do what he wants, and he's in a lightweight division. But goddamn it, if his name ain't being thrown around like Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia was supposed to fight 10 goddamn people. None of them came to fruition. Jojo Diaz, I'm in talks with Ryan Garcia. I'm in talks with Devin Haney. All we want to see is the fight. Now Richard Comey in the mix. He might be fighting Devin Haney. And I'm like, okay, show me. Show me that you're fighting. All I read is the headlines, Ryan Garcia coming back from a brief mental illness. And he's ready to get back in the ring. With who? And then Thurman gets up there and talk about who he wants to fight. Thurman gets on there where he wants to fight, and he has the audacity to mention Gervonta Davis, who's never fought at welterweight before, who's a much smaller fighter when you're speaking on it, to go from 40, pick up 7 pounds, well, 6 if you're talking about weigh-in, because you got to be under the limit or whatever the contract says, under or equal to or over, whatever. Gervonta's not coming in at 148, 149. It's not going to happen. It's just a mere fact that Keith Thurman mentioned it. Boxing is a magic show. But the only thing about this magic show when it comes to boxing is that they serving crack to the people. You can come in there and sit down, take a seat. What would you like to drink? Just give me a Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, whatever. They're going to provide you the drink, and they're going to put some crack in there. Because some of these people that's speaking up these topics, you have to be on crack to believe that this is a topic that you should take serious. Keith Thurman, out the blue, is talking about Gervonta Davis. You know what I'm saying? How do we take that serious, y'all? Come on now. How do we take that shit serious? What I meant to say is black fighter doing what Fury doing name would have been through the mud up and down. Absolutely. Especially if that black fighter was Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder would even came close to saying that shit. See, Keith Thurman would have got away with it because people don't really take him serious because he's just a garrulous type individual. You know what I'm saying? He'll talk his talk or whatever. And plus, he's a little bit lighter than Deontay Wilder. He used to have a ponytail at one time. You know what I mean? So he might have the complexion for the protection. You know what I'm saying? With no detection. But Deontay Wilder, his thoughts are ridiculed. Deontay Wilder put on headphones at a press conference, and people are sitting up here grabbing a hold of his thoughts. This is what he was thinking. He didn't want to promote the fight. He didn't want to do shit for the fight. He really don't even want to fight Tyson Fury. That's why he put the headphones on and let Malik Scott talk. He don't want to do shit to get this fight. He don't want to do nothing. I think that was very unprofessional of him to do that. Man, cats be up here coming up with a list of criticism. The man haven't even fought in a year and a half. And he's been putting out videos of him and Malik. That ain't good enough. He put on headphones and remain and keep it cordial. And even with Malik Scott being the mouthpiece, you got to give it up for him. He still kept it professional. For him to even talk about a busted eardrum was professional. You know what I'm saying? Give it up to Malik Scott, man. You say you're a genius and they want to act like you never completed middle school. Continue to think on an intelligent level. You know what I'm saying? Long as you understand what you are in life and how educated and your intellect, then that's all that matters. You don't have to prove it to these people. Just show their ass when you have to split the ropes and you in the corner and you seeing this play out. Make history. Mississippi King in the building. Them bastards cheated Wilder and they got to pay to this day. To this day, they got to pay. To this day. Mitch say these fake ass fans don't really care about Undisputed. That's just a curtain they hide behind. Talk that shit, dog. Chumps just be swallowing the boxes they have a crush on. Damn. Mitch up here kicking some poetry. I agree, bro. You know me, I agree when you say some shit is all the way in the green. I totally agree, man. You know, like, the only thing that I believe some individuals that's in the audience of boxing, they might care a little bit. You know, like, you have some media individuals as hardcore fans that study and have to read and read and read. I believe deep down they care about Undisputed. But if you just the temporary this out there that follows the sport every now and then and peek in and see what's on ESPN News or whatever, Fox, then you're going to look at this. I don't really care who's fighting. I don't even know him. Shit. I don't even know him. Who is he? You know, who is Dimitri Bivol? Who is he? Who is Demetrius Andrade? I've been hearing something about this guy named Mal Charlo. Who is he? Because, yeah, they was talking some about him like he was on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? You know how that goes, man. People just latch on to shit. Call me fighting Loma. Top gank knot effing with Haney. You know, there's a point of time, right? People know this. And listen, I speak my truth as I feel it, right? My criticism of Haney, it was what it was. Okay? I'm not digressing on that. But I don't agree with this shit because I believe they blackballing the brother. They are. And I said this a while ago, y'all. I don't get on here and talk this. I said it first because it doesn't fucking matter, man. I can say I said it first and somebody else say I said it first too. I don't care about none of that. But I said this several months ago that Devin Haney needs to change it up and try to get to a point where he make moves. Now, he choosing to move up to 140 and face Mikey Garcia, I think that's a good look because I said he should move up to 140 before Teofimo Lopez does. He should start paving his way in this boxing community. 135 is his first division, so go next door. Go to 140 and start making a name up there. If it's Mikey Garcia, Regis Prograis, cool. Those are two top names, man. Both of them have one loss. Former world champions. Why not go up there to 140? Leave the 135-pound division and go where the division has some light to it. The junior welterweight division had that disco ball spinning. They just need some motherfuckers to dance. That's all. And if Devin Haney is going to go up there to 140 and fight Regis Prograis and Mikey Garcia, cool. I'm with it. But staying at this motherfucking nursery, this nursery in boxing, which has became the 135-pound division, it has turned into a laughingstock when you look at it. They're blackballing Devin Haney. He can't get shit. I said go to a different division because the shit, you can't continue to chase Teofimo Lopez. Lopez gonna do what he want. He went up there and had his glory. Now he has to fight his way back into the limelight. And then you have all these other names. Ryan Garcia, we don't know what the hell he's doing. We don't know what he got going on. Then we got Lomachenko. He's going to fight Teofimo Lopez after this. And then Lomachenko got to fight this. Okay. He's going to fight somebody. The only one that's really doing solid stuff, man, even though it's not in the lightweight division, is Gervonta. He's stepping out into other areas, and he's going to battle. He's building more fans, but he's still holding his position in the lightweight division. So you can't be absolutely mad at him. What you got to be mad at is the fight between Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos not happening. Devin Haney can't get a fight with nobody unless it's a second or third tier opponent. I'm not criticizing Devin Haney for what's going on right now, but a lot of people has been speaking about this moment into fruition months ago. I do have to credit Punch Drunk for saying, he should get rid of the title and go so on. He was one of the first person to say it. I have no issue with that. I mentioned he should move up to 140 and leave 135 alone so he won't be in the same conversation as Teofimo Lopez every time somebody talks about boxing in the lightweight division. Leave that story behind. Write your own chapter in 140. It's going to be tough for you, but if you that guy, get up there before Teofimo Lopez. Let him hang out here and fight Lomachenko in a rematch. You move on. Anyway. Thurman Straight, P, how you not fight Ugas, then turn around and talk about fighting Tank? You got a chance to get a belt and turn it down. He's scared of EJ. He get that belt, EJ coming for him, and he know it, man. Absolutely. Thurman even, look. You absolutely right, man. Thurman even come close to winning that belt. He might tell them if he does, don't bring it in the ring right now. Not right now. Why? Jim Gray, why do you not want to hold the strap you just won? Well, that's tradition, right there, Keith? I just don't want that on my shoulder right now. Make sure security around the apron of the ring. You know what I'm saying? I agree, bro. Mac of the South, Rob Arum. Damn, y'all got some titles, man, for real. Rob Arum and Top Stank, dog. Rob Arum and Top Stank. I think that's top 5 right there. Rob Arum and Top Stank won't put Loma up against Haney. You're absolutely right, man. It's no disputing that. Real talk. It's no disputing that. Stormy B said, World Combat Sports, I got a video coming Friday called Welcome to the Black Murderers Row 2021. And somebody already thumbed it down. What? Shaking my head, these racists can't contain themselves. Well, they got to wait. Hey, the one thing, all I got to say about that, Storm, is it's just like in college, man. You continue to be the professor, and teach the curriculum, and they're going to listen. If they want to be there or not, they're going to listen. So, you continue to goddamn, teach the curriculum, and they're going to tune in and take notes. You know what I'm saying? They say you ain't making it until you got some haters. And we all know on YouTube, haters flourish. They cultivate every day. But man, y'all be sure to check out that Friday. And I'll definitely tune in. Welcome to the Black Murderers Row 2021. That shit sound wicked. It sound like it's going to be important. Mac of the South said King T.O. Oh, King T.O. Then Loma won't become franchise while Haney was his mandatory. Haney was his mandatory there, Mac of the South. Let's stop the madness on that. Just because you was in a position, it wasn't as mandatory. If you look at the video and everything from Mauricio, he basically said Loma chose not to fight the rest of the year. And Devin Haney chose to fight for what? An interim title, not a title eliminator like Teofimo Lopez did with Richard Comey. Okay? What I mean by that, he fought Masayoshi Nakatani first for the title eliminator to get the Richard Comey the champion. So Devin Haney was not the mandatory for Lomachenko. I know that's floating around here, but unless it's in stone, it wasn't guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurstman. I've been gone too long, man. Goddamn. A whole different language is being presented on YouTube, man. They have an entire different dialogue up in here, man. Peace to the gods. Ricky Williams in the building. Salute there, Ricky. How you feeling, bro? Miss say people wonder why Thurman get the venom and hate. Nigga said he won't fight Virgil Ortiz. Said he never heard of Ennis. Then say he welcome a PPV fight with a natural super featherweight intake. Look, anybody who know me, I never really talked about Keith Thurman, except when he was on top of the mountain planner. I never took him serious. Like, even when he was unified champion, I wasn't a one-time, like, the one thing I appreciate about him is his promotion. He can self-promote himself. And then when he was one time, he was pretty solid. But I've never really been a Keith Thurman fan like that. I heard he's cool. I heard he's approachable. He'll talk to the media. But that's not a reason why I'm not a fan of his. It's just when Errol Spence was calling you out, their light skin, ponytail, you wouldn't even acknowledge him by making eye contact. Even when look, all of y'all was on the panel. I think Deontay Wilder was on the Showtime panel. Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, and I think Errol Spence mentioned something about fighting Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman say, "Yeah, I watched that boy." See that coming from the South, that shit don't sit right with me. Like, you're talking to another grown ass man with kids, and you say, "Yeah, I watched that boy." And I know people say boy, whatever, but I think that was a method of disrespect by Thurman. He didn't really want to acknowledge that Errol Spence was on his level. You know what I'm saying? He let his arrogance and ego get the best of him by ducking Errol Spence. That's what Keith Thurman did. He ducked Errol Spence, point blank, period. Period. But the good thing about it, Spence was able to collect at least one of Thurman's belts from Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? And then I truly believe if it comes to fruition, he'll be able to collect that WBA sometime in 2022 or whatever, I think. I'm laughing. They'll be there first. Absolutely, they will, man. They'll be there taking note. Goddamn, I don't want to talk about this black shit all the time. Them will be there with sticky pads and everything, posting them all up on the mirror so they can know what to post at the right time in the live chat. You know what I'm saying? The good thing about it, they're giving you views and they tuned in. That's the good thing about it. Whether they supporters or haters, they tuned in. All facts, and that's why he's not on EJ's radar. There's a point of time where I still think this to this day, that black fighters too many times hold grudges against other black fighters that, that disrespect them in the media and screw them over. I'm talking about the big names, especially the Charlos. I think they held a grudge too long, this, that, and the other. But I don't see that with what Errol Spence is doing with Keith Thurman. He should absolutely not give Keith Thurman a shot. I'm just saying, bro. You're both champions in the welterweight division. You won't even acknowledge this man enough to respect the fact that he is the IBF world champion and he earned it, right? And he just sit up there and ignore like he know no English. No hablas English, amigo. No entiende, see? Keith Thurman act like he didn't know no English. He disrespected Errol Spence by ducking him like that. And then he turned around with no belts in his hand, been out the sport, coming off a loss back in 2019 when Pac dropped your ass when you was in the casinos and you was eating motherfucking Dairy Queen sundaes before the fight. Now you want Errol Spence to show you love? Fuck no, man. Get it the hard way. Fight one of the lower tier high rank. Fight the Virgil Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that Jerome Boots Ennis work. I think he'll do you dirty worse than Pac. That's just me. I think Ennis will put the boot in your ass. He'll do you worse than Pac. Real talk. It's always been about race and all comeback discipline. I disagree. I definitely disagree with that statement right there. In boxing, we can talk that talk. But that's not racism in all combat sports, because I can go right next door to MMA and you have plenty of black champions that's reigning over there. You have black champions, like I always mention, that's been in trouble, that's been stripped of their title and everything in mixed martial arts, like John Jones, and the people still cheer him on when he comes to the cage. I mean, this is boxing we talking about. The boxing variant. This is the boxing variant in 2021, man. It's contagious for the wrong reason. Too many fighters are being held responsible for not getting a fight with fighters when they say that the promoter worked for the fighters, but in reality, according to who you are, you absolutely working for your promoter. There's a standard operating procedure, especially over there in Top Rank. You can't get on here and bash a fighter like Crawford and say he lost money, on Crawford, this, that, and the other, and talk about the promoter work for the fighter. I'm not gonna put this fight on there. He's not gonna make me any money. The promoter work for the fighter? I don't see it. I don't see it. Y'all don't see it, and I don't see it. Now, I would tell you who has some tough fights as of late. Even though they didn't perform up to what I believed them to perform, but PBC's been putting on some pretty decent fights. And it's been some, outcomes where you can say the fighter was forced to step up. You got to give him that credit now. That Jared Hurd fight with Luis Arias. A lot of people's discount Arias because of his previous performances, but he went in there and put on a damn good one in the rain. In the rain. Charlo brothers had some pretty, tough fights, primarily, Mel Charlo and Brian Castano. But when it comes down to this sport right now, y'all know well as I do, the language is all the same. So-and-so's in talk. So-and-so's in talk. If you ask the fighter, hey, what you got coming up next? I got something big. I got big fight news. You never hear that shit from MMA. Devin Blocker, what's good with you? I disagree, T.O. It's not the same BS in MMA. It's not. You're absolutely off the mark with that. All right? That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to go back and forth with you. But a lot of the times when you're talking about mixed martial arts champion and we're talking about, let's just say the UFC, right? Look at all the champions that are black. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the champions that is black. You know, look when Daniel Cormier was the heavyweight champion. Daniel Cormier was the light heavyweight champion. Anderson Silva, even though he's Brazilian, you know what I'm saying? All the black champions we had at 185. When Tyrone Woodley was at 170 welterweight, he earned it by fighting Robbie Lawler, who's been in the damn organization forever and a day. And then you drop down to 155. There's been plenty of champions, black, that's been able to do what they do. Just look at the fight this past weekend with AJ McKee. AJ McKee stepped in there with Patricio Pitbull and knocked him out in the first round. That was a huge fight. And he won $1 million. Where's the racism in that? Mixed martial arts fan base is different. Remember that, T.O. Moving on. Shout out to the BronzeBomber Nation. We always got to keep it on topic. That's the biggest shit at hand right now. That's the biggest fight that we want to see. And we was disappointed and let down. And what's so fucked up, my spider senses told me something was going to happen with this fight. You know, it was a lot of bad juju. So bad that I ended up catching COVID before the goddamn fight. So I was like, is the fight still happening? I mean, I didn't have enough energy to get online, goddammit. Not until I was in my third week trying to recover from this shit. And still, I was struggling. But, of course, I think I almost caught the Delta variant when I heard the news that Tyson Fury caught COVID and the fight was delayed and then it was off. That was a stressful time because I was really looking to kick it with some brothers I ain't never seen as be on this YouTube talking about boxing. I was really looking forward to meet them for the first time, somewhat fellowship, you know, just to see, okay, this is so-and-so. Like when I was in the A, I mean, I'm from the A, but when I was down here, you know, I saw Junior the Truth for the first time that was down here. Never seen a brother in my life. Never seen him in my life, but you know, you run into people like that. You know, got to sit down for the first time with Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. Carlos Jackson, 17-1 boxer. You know, just fellowship with the brothers, man, and talk this boxing shit. Y'all be sure to check out Junior True too, man. A real one. How far you think AJ McKee go undefeated? I don't know. I just know his pedigree is from his dad. His dad was a pure wrestler. Sometimes he can be extremely boring, like some of the wrestlers that I grew up off of, you know, that laid and prayed a lot. I just throw out one name, Johnny Hendricks. He just laid and prayed too much. I mean, that's what mixed martial arts was back in the day. You had wrestling and then this, that, and the other. Anyway, you know, they didn't know too much jiu-jitsu. So when they took you down as a wrestler, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know nothing about hammer punches. You know, they didn't know how to really mount. They just knew how to take somebody down, hold them down, and try to punch them like you in a schoolyard brawl. Jonesboro, baby, 1941, stand up. Okay, for sure, man. Shout out to Jonesboro, man. Down south, cats in the building. I got a feeling Fury gonna find another excuse not to fight in October. It was frustrating. I ain't gonna lie, man. It was frustrating, and it still is frustrating knowing that, you know, Tyson Fury is just getting away with murder right here. It just exemplifies how much racism is being exuded in the sport, man. It radiates like no other. It's discouraging when you think about it. I know there's hundreds of other fighters in the sport, but when you see Fury, a certified, official, disgraceful cheat who never defended a title, now he has a title in which he has complicit individuals that holds high positions in the sport. attempting to assist him into the undisputed fight with Anthony Joshua. Now that to me is very unnerving right there, because I do believe Mauricio Sulaiman is trying to get Tyson Fury in that fight. I believe all the rest of them that's participating was a part of that February 22nd sabotage. I believe all that, because they wanted to get this $100 million fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, and one black man stopped that shit. Another black man stood up for himself. He didn't have to put his fist in the air. All he had to do was put on headphones. Headphones irked the reaction from the damn audience. Headphones. He talked his shit. He told y'all what y'all wanted to hear. He was approachable to the crowd. Now this time around, he gave you the middle finger. He said, I was the nice one then. Y'all didn't appreciate it, so now I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? He has every right to do that. I even said to myself, he shouldn't do no more bomb squads, none of that shit. But Tyson Fury is gonna come up with what next? Let me guess, an injury. He can come up with an injury. All right. He used COVID already. I doubt he'll have enough cojones to come back with COVID when he was only infected for like 7 to 8 days. What type of COVID he had? What type of fucking COVID was that? A drive-by COVID? Prius COVID? Hush puppy COVID? What kind of COVID that Tyson Fury has? Oh, that line variant COVID. That's what type of COVID Tyson Fury had. The line variant. The one that's not really there, but just because no one really knows how you catch COVID, or how you get rid of it. It's free game right now, and that's what Tyson Fury and his team did. It's unfortunate that Deontay Wilder had to go through all that training just to take a pause and then regroup again for October. And when that arbitration came out and they say he had to fight him by September, but if there's an extension, I knew right then that fight. I knew in the pit of my heart, I said that fight is not happening in July, because they put an extension on that. It's not happening. I just felt that it wasn't going to happen because they say it can be extended. It's extended, y'all. Izzy get his ass beat in boxing. He's a talented striker, but stop it. Izzy is nowhere coming close to boxing. You can forget that. Francisco Ngannou, he ain't coming over to boxing. You know, he may be training with a lot of boxers. That ain't happening. Tyson Fury and Canelo get away with a lot. Well, you're talking about two different people right there. You know, Canelo is upsetting the people by his actions in the sport when it comes to actually, you know, being able to continue to progress in a way that people are still kind of like transparently blind that he did pop dirty. Like they want to just put that away. The reason why Canelo gets away with it is that he continued to win and he doesn't say much. The most theatrical we ever seen Canelo Alvarez was when Demetrius Andrade came into the room and, you know, he wanted to fight and he said, payday, payday, payday. That's the most theatrical we ever seen Canelo Alvarez. Tyson Fury and Canelo get away with a lot. And, you know, I agree, but in different circumstances. Tyson Fury is a motherfucking scoundrel. It's almost like he's a part of the Illuminati. How can you do so much dirt? I'm talking about bathing in that mud. How can you be so dirty as a person? And when you walk in the ring, people feel like you got on an all-white suit. Smelling good, looking good. How does he get away with that? It's almost like they just overlook the shit. And then not only that, he could have very well placed Deontay Wilder in a wheelchair like Gerald McLean, Pritchard Cologne. He could have very well situated this man in a city position for the rest of his life because he wanted cheated. He wanted to cheat. He could have very well had this man on TV for the wrong reasons, and everybody like, oh shit, man, come on, just give us one more bomb squad. The man don't know what bomb squad is anymore because he has brain damage. People sit up here and take this shit for very lightly and take it for a joke. But when one man, like they said, what happened to Africa, right? When they met with the chiefs and they presented that religion to them and asked them to bow their head in prayer, when they opened their eyes, they didn't have anything but the Bible. Deontay Wilder, he gave him his palm up. He allowed that man to be helped and assisted, coming off a cocaine addiction, coming off pad usage and suspension from the sport, coming from the dark side. He had his hand open. But some people, truly, it was a gift for Tyson to get that opportunity to fight Wilder, because all his biggest rewards in the sport of boxing, my people, has come at the expense of Deontay Wilder's performance. Him in the ring with Deontay Wilder. That's why he's getting all this damn recognition and prestige, because of what Wilder presented to him. Period. That's why he get the reward for Fight of the Year co-op with Teofimo Lopez. That's why he turned around in 2021 and get the Fight of the Year. But the sad part about it, you can't recycle toilet paper. Once you wipe your ass with it, that's what it is. Unless you that dirty, nasty motherfucker that we know. That's Tyson Fury, though. How can he get rewarded for fighting a fighter that never sustained recognition from his peers like that, or the critics that's on mainstream media? If they never saw him as that individual, that top tier heavyweight, when he was giving you highlight reel knockouts and 42 victories, then laid all his opponents to rest at one point in his career, how can Tyson Fury get rewarded top appraisal for defeating Deontay Wilder in one of the most controversial heavyweight fights in the boxing history? Somebody explain that to me. D Hodges in the building. What's good with you? Bill Gates again and Duck the King of boxing again. Yes, sir. What up, World Combat Sports, and salute. Gates created the problem and the solution, then Profit are both cold-blooded. Man, y'all speaking some truth, bro. Y'all speaking some cold, hard truth. Easy in the building. Salute, my brother. In fact, no one knew Fury before fighting Deontay Wilder. He wasn't nobody. You talk to the people, it's always a debate. First, they got to get their Deontay Wilder fanboys out the way and jerk themselves off and shit. Turn on this twerking video and goddamn, get their testosterone levels the way it should be. And then, and only then, that's when they start trying to debate who got the better resume. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Who got the better resume? And first thing they bring up, he fought Klitschko. Deontay Wilder didn't. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, man. It's good to take a break from this shit. Like on here, because it become monotonous. Like this is not a breadwinner, but I appreciate the ones who do donate to me for real. I appreciate you. And just to say my cash app in the my cash app up there, but reality of it, I do it for the passion, learning about the sports. Because if I ain't on live, I am reading articles. And we know deep down inside, right? The criticism and scrutiny that has been placed on the biggest name in boxing has been Deontay Wilder, period. Point blank. There's no other fighter name out there. They can say they the most popular. Get the fuck out of here. Canelo name doesn't pop or register like Deontay Wilder. The only time people want to talk about the Canelo is when they debating if he took a damn PED or not. And then you get his cronies up here and say, well, it was actually a cutting agent. Does it enhance? Does it speed up or expedite something outside of his natural ability? Yeah, but see, they increased the levels. So they saw it. They saw that it needed to be changed. But did he pop positive? Yes, he did. But Deontay Wilder's never popped positive for shit like that. There's never been no controversy as if he was cheating in the ring. But the arrows that's been dropped on him, right, has been pointing his way, and they've been pulling back the bow a lot. It's just his behavior, him being outspoken. We don't need permission to support our own people. People, you know, they have come a long way, and they'll dip back in history just a little bit. They'll dip back there. They say, okay, let me read this book and read that book. And then they'll come up here and say, oh, man, y'all still talking about that? It was no slavery, man. Come on, get out of here. It was no slavery. If it wasn't slavery, then why is there so much that's going on this day and time that deals with us, and especially Deontay Wilder and the way he speaks about his own people? That's why he's vilified. That's why he's not supported. And that's why he's not on magazines. Because to be honest, he's did way more than Tyson Fury with just one belt than him with a collective group of all the sanctioning bodies. But what Tyson Fury has done to his credential has tarnished it. We all know it, has tarnished it, being suspended from the sport. He never should have been allowed to step in the ring with Klitschko just because he had an appeal with Christian Hammer. Bullshit. The ESPYs and the Grammys are all a joke. Absolutely, man. But look, Hoover. Shout out to Free Hoover in the building. Check this out, Hoover. When it comes down to the ESPY, who's holding them accountable? Who's holding the Grammys accountable? So look at the lower tier audience, the temporaries who look at that award and they run over to Facebook. Oh, Tyson Fury got Fight of the Year. Oh my God, he's the best. He's not. Because the best wouldn't have faked COVID. The best wouldn't have cheated. The best wouldn't have tried to take a man's life and potentially put him in the position of Pritchard Colon and Jerry McClellan, Adonis Stevenson. Maxim Dadashev, who died. Patrick Day. Shout out to Patrick Day. He could have been in that same position. Deontay Wilder, 6'7", 6'9". It don't matter how tall you are when you're in a wheelchair. But when you look at a 6'9" individual like Tyson Fury with a garbage bag for a heart, he's a cheater, point blank, period. And people are sitting up here praising him for cheating. Hey, Mike, he almost did it. You almost did it. We thought he was out of here, but he's coming back with that arbitration. Goddamn bloody bloke. God damn it. We almost had it. We almost had that undisputed. See, black people, we may not be able to consistently stand up in a mass crowd, in a mass group, on a consistent basis, and in unity, and speak our piece. We might not be able to do that. But when you get influential black men that come around, especially ones on a high level, like Deontay Wilder, they will appreciate him when he out the sport. I'm not sure if he can change the perception, or at this point, if I was in his position, I wouldn't attempt to change the perception of the temporaries who don't support me. I would be worse than Deontay Wilder. I'm not really a talker like that. I'm not really believing that I have to kiss your ass for you to like me. I'm the one that's being brutalized in the ring. I'm training. I'm leaving my family. Just like in the military, I'm being deployed. So in that case, me being 42-0, I think I've done enough. reigning over 5 years, going in there for my 11th defense. I did enough. I don't have to answer no questions if I don't want to. None, shawty. I don't have to answer zero. I could care less. Exactly. He patents for COVID-19, Ebola, HIV. That tells you something. At least fighters get decent paychecks when they face Canelo. Fury fucking around, faking illness and shit. I agree, man. Fighters, now you gotta kind of adjust the opacity on that decent. Cause goddamn it, in order for you to get a decent paycheck with Canelo, you gotta go through all the restrictions. You gotta have one kidney. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your eyes dilated before you step into the weigh-ins. You know what I'm saying? It's a rehydration clause. Canelo has too many stipulations, man. If it's a replacement opponent, you got to pay me 40 mil. I mean, come on, man. At least fighters get a decent check when they face easy. I'm about to patent oxygen and pussy. Never going broke. For real, man. If you can get that shit done, you good. But it'll be difficult with all the groups out here when you talk about the second one. For real. For real. To be honest, this is not Fury. There are a group of wicked people in high places orchestrating this. Deontay is disliked and is being punished for being pro-black. Well, I look at it like this when he beat Bermain Stavern for the first time. Deontay Wilder will receive the love and praise and people clapping for him if he's fighting another fighter the shade of his own skin. That's fact. They would cheer Deontay Wilder on. When he went in there against Dominique Breazeale, with the contentious history that they have between each other, I mean, the crowd was cheering the shit out of Wilder. It was so loud in there, people was on their feet. They couldn't wait till he come out the tunnel. They was cheering him when he fought Luis Ortiz. They was cheering him on when he fight Bermain Stavern. I'm just talking about the bigger names in his career, right? But when he stepped in there, let's say Arthur Spilker, even though I wasn't at the fight, and probably not too many people know Arthur Spilker like that. Deontay Wilder wasn't getting all that attention like he is now. They just was basically saying he's a windmill king and he's wild and he lacked fundamentals. So when he knocked out Spilker with that counter right hook, that shit hit Spilker like a razor blade and bled him out. Just bled him out right there on the spot. Done, unconscious. When he started to grow from his knockout reels and he was reigning champion, he started to get more notoriety. He started talking more. He started patenting that bomb squad. And then he had the altercation with Radio Cornball. And he tried to say, what? Wilder, what do you mean you're a people? Wow, don't tell me what. It's your people too. It's your people too. He patented to this day. That shit went viral. That video of Radio Raheem went viral. I just wish Wilder would have never did a follow-up video with him as if they was friends. But you're talking about two black men now. Two black men have to go up there and make peace with one another. But it doesn't have to happen if it's a black man and a white man or black Russian or a Mexican or whatever. We don't have to have that shit mandatory. He's been through a lot, man. And he's still going through the storm. And, as many as the black media that's on here on YouTube that support Deontay Wilder, super heavy. You just have to continue to cultivate this YouTube shit and filter through the weeds and bullshit that goes on. Because with all these powerful voices that speaking positive about Deontay Wilder, you have a collective group that's basically talking negative, criticizing him. You know what I'm saying? Excoriating him every time they get a chance. I salute you though. Yes, Deontay Wilder would be appreciated similar to Ali. People are not noticing what he stands for outside the ring. I agree. You know, man is speaking up for his people. You know, his black people. Who said he needed permission? He don't need permission for that. He don't need permission for that. Because if he was out here tap dancing and, you know, acting all goofy, people say, oh, he's a sellout. See, that's the stigma that is placed on black fighters. You have people like Tyson Fury who can sit up here and lick his lips. You know what I'm saying? And he can say, somebody give me a lemon. I want to work on my glands, you know, to make my mouth a little bit more wet than usual. Anybody have lime, lemon? I'm about to plant this kiss, you know, post fight. I need my mouth to be super wet. If Deontay Wilder would have did that to another black fighter, Wilder and that black fighter would have pretty much been ostracized by his own people first, by black community, because it's a deep embedded stigma when it comes to homophobics. You know, people want to sit up here and place everything to be gay, sissy, all that. When it comes to a black man doing shit like that, we seen it with Errol Spence. It's just something that as black men we cannot do unless you are gay. Period. And then you have the individuals that want to not look at the fact that Tyson Fury kissed another man in the mouth and probably stuck some tongue in there. Probably was aroused off of it while he has his family ringside. But yet Deontay Wilder, you know, he's up here dancing with his family, having a good old time. You know, like African tribes do. They dance amongst each other, the men and the women. But here in the U.S., blacks don't have a culture. I'm not talking about hip hop. I'm talking about amongst families. That's been broken and fragmented over the years. So whatever we pick up, people will follow, and then they'll try to do it better than us, but they won't give us credit for it. That's fact. Why chase AJ again? AJ a million miles away and protected by Eddie Hearns. Fury is wounded and right there, also contractually obligated. Who said something about Joshua? If Wilder beats Joshua, Wilder will have Fury, something for Fury. T.O., you be saying some loose leaf type of stuff, bro. Like real talk. I mean, you be saying some elementary type shit. I'm not criticizing you, but I'm just saying some stuff you act like you know what you're talking about with boxing. Then the others, you just seem like you just putting stuff in the live chat to get a reaction. Why would Deontay Wilder go after Anthony Joshua if he's not accessible? There's no way he can get a hold of Anthony Joshua. He's one of the most protected fighters in the sport, and he's doing absolutely nothing. He picked up the belts, lost the belt, and picked them up again, and he's super protected right now. He doesn't just have one pull-up. He has two pull-ups on. Extra protection. He can piss on himself 1,000 times. He's going to make sure, okay, that pull-up is still good. There's no leakage, right? Okay, good. Somebody put some baby oil on him, please. Yeah, put some baby oil on him. That's Anthony Joshua. He's super protected. Why would a lion pass up a wounded 300-pound caribou for a protected gazelle in the zoo? Hey, the only thing about them caribous and gazelles, them gazelles is not rolling in a pack of dominance like lions. A caribou, who really knows what a caribou is? They don't roll in a pack of dominance. Gazelles don't roll in a pack of dominance, but lions do. So lions hunt as they see fit. And right now, it wouldn't benefit Wilder to go on a hunt for AJ across the pond because he's not accessible. You know what I'm saying? It's a waste of fucking time. AJ has proved that he don't want no part of Wilder. He proved it back then when he did not. He was up there putting stipulations for them flat fees and turned down the $50 million. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feeling me on this? He showed point blank his character. He didn't want no part of Wilder. How you gonna say, give me 50 million and I'll fight you tomorrow, and the stipulation is it has to be this year, no rematch clause, and in the US. And you say, Eddie, is it good? You think it sounds good? I mean, man, Eddie didn't even entertain that shit. Hey, Joshua, what the fuck are you doing, bloke? Get the fuck off the mic. You're not getting no fight with Deontay Wilder. He knocked you clean out. Get the fuck out the mic. Nobody told Joshua to get on the mic without permission. That's the difference between him and Deontay. Deontay speaks for himself, while Joshua has to get permission from Daddy Hearns. He has to get permission, y'all. Is it okay? I just want to just speak to anyone who would listen. Is it okay for me to do a live stream on IG? It's just gonna be 50 seconds, Eddie. 50 seconds, Eddie, please, Eddie. Give me 50 seconds, Eddie, please. I'm so lonely over here. But I don't want to go over there to the US. That Andy Ruiz. I got PTSD from Andy Ruiz. Bivol better not take that fight at 168 or catch weight. Listen, Bivol take that fight. It's going to be so much details within the contract, so much bullshit, that it's going to be very difficult for Bivol to take that to the cards and win. Now, I might be wrong. It would be great to see Bivol go in there and give Alvarez a damn good fight. It would be straight, man. I love it. Raheem only black on the outer layer. His punk ass is like a almond joy. Better yet, a mound bar, because he has no nuts. Damn. You know what? I'm not even going to advocate or defend Radio Raheem, because I had a run-in with him personal, and I don't appreciate. I just don't have nothing positive to say about Radio. For real, he's an industry dude, and I don't like his attitude. For real, he don't have no respect for the lower tier YouTube guys. He thought he was gonna come in my city and take up all the media time and everything. No respect, no courtesy, nothing. He was just came in here in my part of town where I grew up at, and thought he was gonna just walk up in here and take up a one-on-one interview with Gervonta Davis in the ring, get out the ring, where the lower tier media has to wait, and he want to post up him and his female assistant, Becky, in the middle, thought he was going to do it. It didn't go down the way he thought. That's the bullshit of radio. And then he come in the Wilder Fury press conference late with hair on his clothes from getting a damn haircut. Man, stop it. Just stop it. Hoover Canelo bond legacy not building. Man, Canelo's really exposing himself seriously. At one point in time, I was giving Canelo his due diligence for going on here fighting, and collecting belts. But once again, Canelo has that complexion and that tint, that cinnamon tint in his hair for the protection. He has the right amount of horses in his stable. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is with Canelo. Real talk. He's able to go around here and do what he do. And I guess we can thank Floyd Mayweather for that. Because just because he fought Floyd Mayweather when he did and lost, that somehow provided him the royalty that he gets now. Because that's his only loss on his record. And, thanks to Floyd Mayweather, he was able to get that shine, period. Floyd Mayweather gave him the key to the city, y'all. The Mexican fight fans know that. Floyd Mayweather is responsible for providing Canelo the key to the city. Yes. You don't want to give Floyd his props and his praise, but yes, you should. Because of him, Canelo Alvarez is damn blossom and flourishing the way he did. I'm not saying he ain't been fighting. I'm just saying they let him get away with murder. first 24. Forget the 48. First 24. Canelo on some bullshit. Yeah, you know, if I have a replacement opponent, I still want 40 million. You know what I'm saying? I still want 40 million. Just like if I was fighting Caleb for the title, I still want 40 million. Yeah. Is there any way me and Abner Yildirim can fight for the WBA? I mean, for that WBC title that was stripped from David Benavidez? Abner Yildirim. Yeah, the one who coming off a loss. Yeah, the one with the promissory note for the mandatory. Yeah, him. Is there any way we can just scoop that WBC title? Yeah, y'all can sanction that. Oh, it'll be too much backlash. I got it. What about, okay, Callum Smith, that shit coming up. Can we throw in the WBC belt with that too? 2-for-1 special? Cool. Give me some Polynesian sauce with that, and tartar sauce, and some salt and pepper. This is gonna be a great one. That's what Canelo can do, man. They don't give a fuck, man. They appease him by all means necessary, y'all. Thanks to Floyd and Golden Boy's protection plan. Yes, sir. But you know, you can't say it's Golden Boy no more, Hoover, because he's done with Oscar. He's done. That look, Canelo to Oscar De La Hoya is Tank Davis to Floyd Mayweather. Who else over there, Golden Boy, is a cash cow? Who else at Mayweather promotion is a top dog above Tank Davis? Who is on PPV? Who's doing backflips off the top rope? So shit. We don't know what's going to become of it, but I can tell you like this. It's at a point right now where Canelo is being exposed big time. He's identified, and no one's really criticizing him. They might say something here and there, but they'll put that D word in there. Canelo, he deserves it. Canelo's done everything you can do for the sport. Yeah, he lost to Floyd Mayweather, but he was green. He wasn't ready for Floyd, but he stepped in there like a warrior, the Aztec warrior. He went in there and did what he had to do. And that's why he gets all the respect and praise from his people. Seriously, that's what we have to deal with when it comes to Canelo, man. Thanks to Floyd Mayweather. He blessed him with the sword, the Excalibur. You have been anointed, and he took that shit and ran with it. That's where we at right now. All praise to Floyd Mayweather for providing Canelo Alvarez the avenue that he was able to take, and how boxing just overlooks his shit right now. But guess what? It's going to come a time in the next 4 or 5 years, it's going to be a passing of the torch. I'm just curious to see who it's going to be. Real talk. I'm curious to see who's going to get that torch next. We don't know. Like, we don't know. At one point, I thought it was going to be Teofimo Lopez, but the stuff that went on with George Kambosos, and now they fighting Vasyl Lomachenko, when a big part of me, it grew on me. I said, well, let's see him fight Devin Haney. You know, but once again, they just puppetized us like the fight between Gary Russell and Devin Haney. It was just exhausting, bro. So he has to come back on the scene. If he don't fight Kambosos and he gets off that IBF title, he won't be the first to get off that IBF title. He comes to fight Lomachenko. Okay, what's next? What's next, man? We have to sit up here and twiddle our thumbs all the way to October and see what's next in the motherfucking bag of tricks for Tyson Fury. Is Mauricio going to come up with a franchise for the heavyweight division after he said, no, we cannot make a franchise for the heavyweight division because it is the highest division in boxing? Mauricio, you just franchised Tyson Fury. Well, I know, but we are moving from tradition to innovation. Changes are going to happen. You should take this franchise as a change, which is beneficial to the sport of boxing. Now we have a total of 5 franchise champions. 4 or 5, whatever. I don't keep up with the franchise belt. But I told people it would be 2. It would be 2 more franchise champions in 2021. And Juan Estrada is one. They fucked over Ron Fasai and they gave Estrada the damn franchise belt to fight Chocolatito again. Say, forget about you. We elevating him to franchise. Nobody's really talking about it like they talked about Teofimo because, you know, all the titles not involved like that. But anyway, I still believe Mauricio is gonna bless boxing with a hot bowl of donkey shit and give out another franchise belt. I'm just trying to damn put it on my radar with the GPS coordinates and see what division is going to be in. If you really want to light up the interest of boxing, Mauricio takes so much heat. He'll probably get back on Fred Barbershop and call up Reggie Owens. Can I please have Reggie back on the show? I want to apologize because I am, what did he say I am? I am what Reggie Owens said I was. I apologize because I was drinking while I was on set and he irritated me just a little bit more than I thought. All I heard was racist. And I want to say today, Fred, that yes, I am a racist. Oh my God, man. Damn. But I got to give it up to Mauricio. He had some good comeback shit, but man, Reggie was in his ass like a thorn, dog. Don't agree with the way he goes about it. But Canelo is bossing up on boxing. Motherfuckers better remember this when it's their time. Well, I look at it like this. When you're talking about remember this when it's their time, not everybody can move like Canelo when it's their time. It's not that easy. Like, look at half of Canelo's fights was in Mexico. So that's why he's not fighting another Mexican. It's not because shit, he had a bad experience and had a tough fight. Look at his record, for God's sake. If I criticize Haney for his Mexico fights, I got to criticize Canelo Alvarez for his Mexico fights. That's just like looking at Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. record. He has all those fights. But look what it was early in his career. It's real talk. So when these fighters get to a point where we think they are the top dog, that's when the politics come into play. Like I said this about Shakur Stevenson. I say Shakur Stevenson, he's going out here and he's making it known, he's being voiceful that he wants this fighter, that fighter, and other fighter. But when he moved up, things kind of slowed down. He wasn't able to just get in that position and fight for whatever title he wanted. When he moved up to junior lightweight, he thought when the fight between Herring and Frampton was postponed, he was going to slide in there. They say, nope, we're going to have this Herring-Frampton fight. I don't care what you say. Okay. When freaking Jojo Diaz lost his title on the scales, how can they not arrange for Shakur Stevenson to fight for the vacant? That's what I was talking about, boxing politics. Because who is the IBF junior lightweight champion right now? Who? You know, it's politics, man. Shakur Stevenson is going to get his. But I'm going to tell you like this. If these individuals hang around in the lightweight division too damn long, and just because they're young in age, they say, I want to hang out here because I can get some big money fights. It's gonna be some problems when Shakur Stevenson get up there because his mindset is, I can beat anybody. I'm better than you. Prove that you're better than me, but I know I'm better than you. So they want to hang around that lightweight division. Then Shakur Stevenson get a belt down at 130 and pop up to 35 and still there. It's gonna get interesting. Seriously. It's going to get interesting for everybody who's down there that's a top rank, a top 5 competitor. Golden Boy acting like Ryan's a cash cow. These young boxers treating him like it's two. It's just disgusting. He's a cash kid, aka cash push. He is a kid, man, and that's why they're freaking cuddling him the way he is, because he still have that puppy, that goofy puppy love thing going on with boxing. Seriously, like they don't see Ryan Garcia as an alpha; they see him as a beta. And since Ryan Garcia is a beta, that's why he didn't get as much backlash as he did getting off the canvas against Luke Campbell, because he make all these goofy videos and he has a huge fan base, so-called. You know, most of that shit is AI, artificial intelligence. I mean, we don't know if he have actual 8 million raw, but people give him a pass because he looks young, he acts young and goofy. So he can go in there and get off the canvas and have a post-fight conference and say, yeah, I couldn't believe he dropped me. Oh, wow. I was like, wow, he actually dropped me. I'm not used to getting off the canvas like that unless it's sparring. But yeah, I couldn't believe that. You know what I'm saying? They give him a pass for that, bro. A black fighter couldn't get off the canvas and have a goofy ass post-fight interview like that. Well, you know what happens sometimes. You know, I was saying to my dog, I was like, man, Shouty, I couldn't believe he caught me like that. But, you know, I got up and I handled my business. I did what I had to do. It's not going to work. You know, not only is that black fighter going to have to answer to his fans, he's going to have to answer to his people that's around him all the time. Dude, you got dropped by Luke Campbell, bro. Man, don't say shit to me ever again. Don't try to roast me. Don't try to say shit, because you got dropped by Luke Campbell. Damn. Choco versus Gallo 3 is necessary, though. That fight should have been a draw. Absolutely. I agree with you, Hoover. I agree. I never disagreed with that fight happening. I was just making a statement and emphasizing the moves that Mauricio Suleiman made with the franchise belt. It was quickly implemented. Quickly. I'm talking, that shit was quick. That shit was expeditiously enforced. They made that shit happen. They didn't care. Rungs Fasai, you know the deal. Don't too many people know you anyway. You know the deal. We're elevating Estrada. You know, depending on who you look at, what pound for pound list, you know, he on the pound for pound, he get priority over you. You know the deal. We elevating him to franchise, and you just have to wait. You good with that, right? Yes, I wait. Okay, you promise? Yeah, I wait. Yeah, come on now. Luke Campbell have retired. You know he wasn't planning on winning that fight. Yeah, man. Luke Campbell, he didn't go in there with any intentions except to get a check. That's why when Ryan Garcia finally made it up to his feet, Luke Campbell freaking cowardly walked back to the ropes, assumed the position. You know, please hit me, Ryan, hit me. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to call it a night. This is your moment, Ryan. Knock me out. Make it look real now. You know what makes it look real? You really can't do what Oscar Valdez did with Miguel Berchelt, because they was actually fighting. You got to give me a body shot. Just give me that body shot that I'm looking for. That is going to be the signature right there. Get the fuck out of here. Jade in the building. Salute, man. What's good? Luke Campbell, salute from coming back. Mr. Evil himself need to go ahead and franchise tag Jamel Charlo. Give Lubin the belt so some random super middleweight can knock his ass out. Okay. Mitch, you making some sense now with that. Because listen, They do that to some others. You know what I'm saying? Primarily their lightweight division, they did that. So them franchising Jamel and allowing Erickson Lubin, the Hammer, to fight for the dang title, cool. I'm down with that because I really think Lubin has some problems with Jamel, but I think it'll be a good fight. But I don't see it happening anytime soon, especially after the fight Jamel came off of with Brian Castano. Brian Castano is a beast. If Lubin has to fight Brian Castano for the WBC, ooh, wee. Whoa. I'm just ready for the Charlos the freaking make a move and, you know, just fight some names that we think they should be in there with. That's all I'm saying. I want to see Mauro Charlo go up and fight David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, whoever the case may be. You know, preferably Caleb Plant because it'll give him an opportunity to fight for a title at super middleweight, his first fight. I really think David Benavidez would be a tough fight for Charlo for his first fight, but at super middle, but I don't care. Either one of those guys, cool. You know, cool. Because the shifting changes in stance is happening very soon. The Charlo brothers are going to have to make up their mind when they're going to make those changes if they're not going to fight in the same division. If you call yourself Big Charlo, then you have to make big moves now. You're a 2-division champion. So what is your brother Mel supposed to do? Last time I checked, y'all twins, right? Y'all the same age. So you're going to stall him out? You're going to say, okay, let me stay here at 60 for a little bit for a couple more fights? No, you got to go. So Mel Charlo can move up if he feel confident. After his last fight with Castano, he might not feel confident. He might feel that he want to go back in there and fight a fighter that he already been in there with to make a statement, to get some popularity back in his game, get some Wall Street up, you know, get his stock back up in boxing. Seriously. Because he didn't look good to me in that Castano fight. I like Lubin, Mitch. I like Lubin, man, for real. But seeing him fight Jason Rosario and seeing that both of them was hurt, I didn't see Mel Charlo hurt like that in the early rounds against Jason Rosario, obviously. So if Mel Charlo wasn't hurt like that, I think it'll be a much tougher fight for Lubin to go in there. Oh, man. I just think it'll be a tough fight. That's all. I'm not saying I don't want to see it, but it'll be a tough fight. Jamal versus Andre. Yeah, you know, but check this out, Hoover. You know, I've spoken about that so many times. And it's just talk. Because they're still blackballing and punishing and keeping down Andre on timeout. They trying to treat him like he's a pariah when he's a champion. You know, it don't matter if he's a WBO champ. He's still a champ, goddammit. Black fighters got to stop holding grudges against other black fighters just because y'all don't get along outside the ring. The saying in boxing is that black fighters don't sell when they fight one another. Well, goddammit, you know, it was a damn good fight seeing Errol Spence and Sean Porter fight. It's funny how black fighters fight each other when they're not as a popular name. But once they get up in the rankings and they're popular top 5 fighters, they don't fight each other. That's the problem I got. That's my issue. We're talking about black fighters are being moved to the point where they got to fight the Mexican fighters to make a little money. I'm just saying. That's the boxing variant. It's always going to be contagious for the wrong reason. But y'all, it's been a pleasure, man. I got to get back to the business. Appreciate y'all for pulling up as always, man. Just give me a little bit of time to be consistent because, you know, there's no way I can be consistent right now. I just got a lot of stuff I need to take care of. But, yeah, once again, it's a pleasure, man, talking boxing with y'all. Appreciate the ones who are always supporting the channel. You know, appreciate the ones and thankful for the donations that y'all send to YouTube and to the Cash App. I appreciate you. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. Salute.
Yeah. Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6th sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the game. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait till you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.